hunger, poverty, climate change, so many disasters, all these problems. It is all because of the lack of humanity. So to bring that humanity is only the way we can, solve all these problems. That's the root cause. So, but what world needs is currently everywhere, all the places, either poor or rich, doesn't matter. So everywhere, so the big struggle is a health. Health is a big struggle. We need a great, the transformation towards better health and the environment. And another thing is the harmony. So because of the selfishness and the greed, so you know what is happening. So people are, as yesterday our chief guest was explaining about economy, they are focusing on other society, social values, and the environment is neglected. So that is why sustainability happens when you balance these three things: economy, society, and this environment. So these three things. But these three things is miserably we are spoiling all the resources and making world is more unsustainable. The sustainable development is, maybe for your clarity, without spoiling the future of this earth, can we live? That is a sustainable development. Without spoiling the future of the earth, future of the nature, and for future generations we need to give back, right? So to keep up this, see, in our childhood days we had so much of wealth in terms of the greenery, environment, good environment. Now it is more polluted in both information side and the environment side, right? So that's and what we had earlier, the great opportunity to learn and enjoy, so these kids are missing. And the next generation is going to miss more. And these kids are getting weaker than us. And the future generations are going to be much weaker if we continue this way. And it is more unsustainable. And soil is getting completely spoiled and lands are getting dried. So that is where the sustainability is something which we need to take immediate care. Otherwise it is very dangerous for the world if you do not act now. So that is why this dangerous situation we wanted to address, at least from our scale. So that is the reason, as you see, for all these unsustainable problems is basically man's selfishness. The selfishness is the one which is the immoral thing in this world. Whatever your definition, very clear definition which Swami Vivekananda given like this. So by practice of humanity, with a simple and sustainable living, we can achieve sustainable development. So what means whatever we do without, so I went to United Nations, I went to different places to participate in the conferences and share ideas and bring that sustainability. Everywhere they are making a great plans. Government is making a great plans, UN is making a great plans, but nobody is doing in the ground level. The problem is everybody is talking, very less doers. So all the plans looks on paper very good, but what we all felt in the recent New York conference, everyone, all attendees, without a man's change, nothing is going to happen, whatever plans you make. So the first thing what we made is self-transformation. Without self-transformation, nothing will happen. Then social transformation and environmental transformation. That is where we can create the sustainability. And then, so what we are doing is very limited scope. Health and environment, there are 17 villages we are currently working as a Manavata, we are as a volunteers. Of course, as a part of Manavata family, you are also part of this initiatives, educating poor people and also empowering children. And at the same time, providing a practical education. Practical education in the sense, they can do anything and everything, the courageous people. We need to build a responsible and courageous children. So for that, practical learning, they can do anything. They can do natural farming, they can do health services. From the childhood days, they can serve people. They can go and help people. So such the great the volunteers from the young generations, they come in these methods. So that is a real education happening, sustainable education. And the sustainable environment side, major problem in this world is a food. Food, because of the chemical production of the food, because of the chemical usage in the soil, 70% of this world's pollution is coming from the agriculture, food production. It's amazing fact, right? So in the 70% pollution is coming from there. We are all getting the poisonous food from the fields. So what happens tomorrow? We're getting weaker and weaker. All intelligence is going off, right? This is a base fundamental to save the soul and the soil. Soul in the sense we have to save ourselves, making healthy. But if you are using more chemicals, and again a lot of critical problems are happening. At the same time, soil is getting spoiled. So with the both things in mind, we started natural farming practice, and the second one is a plantation. Make everything green, every village. Motivate all the villagers to make it green village. So that way, every year trying to do as many plants as possible from our soil, as a little bit we can do. So in this way, environment, and then the 3H family thing. Of course, this is very important initiative, because when we take this message, when you are communicating with your parents, with your neighbors, there's some good message you are passing on. This message is at least a little transformation helps. Little save for the environment helps. So that way, this message, the 3H mission, so making ourselves, improving ourselves and making ourselves more healthy and happy, harmonious, is very important. This mission is one important project for us. Similarly, sustainable health, what we are doing is, in the villages, the low budget health centers building up. Within these 17 villages, around surrounding villages, 50 villages it is covering. Around 10,000 patients regularly getting treatment, and so far 24,000 patients have taken the treatment from the health centers. So that too, sustainable health, without getting spoiled their health, without any side effects, giving the treatment to the root cause, not for the symptoms. But most of the times you get the health treatment for the symptoms. They kill the symptoms like painkillers or whatever. So, but here, because of the root cause analysis, with the interview with the patient is getting the awareness. Through creating that awareness, they are getting more educated through health, through this interview. And that way, these centers are making the progress. We need to continue that practice to all the villages. So with the intention of doing these sustainable practices in 500 villages and creating the humanity and inspiring people, I try to communicate this message through the Cycling for Humanity, the London to Delhi, and the whole India. I made a production of our Bharat Mata and the whole India, and then the next the United States. I did a bit of cycling from Washington DC to Boston and West Coast a little bit. Recently the Bay Area. So all these things around 16 countries, 25,000 kilometers I cycled. So all these messages, as yesterday our Satish Kumar was sharing his experiences. It was a great experience for me, and all the challenges, saved me, and made me more strong. And I've seen a lot of humanity in the world. So the problems are because of the material nature of the Western thinking. Yesterday, same thoughts I have also got. So that is why these experiences, what we need to do is again bring back our culture of humanity, selflessness into every human being. That's what I taken this mission. So for 500 villages, past 3-4 years, trying to achieve more, but it is very difficult to convince people to bring that leadership. Major thing is missing the leadership, missing the sustainable practices in everyone's life. So for that, so whatever we are doing, all this is very just a small drop in the ocean. So we have a very bigger problem to solve. So to solve that problem, I need the team of great volunteers, and we all need to build to that level. So that is why the goal of the sustainable development taken another challenge. The Manavata now is taking another challenge, University for Humanity. It is much bigger than the Cycling for Humanity. Cycling for Humanity is inspiring people. This is much bigger because it's practicing at the ground level and promoting this into the number of villages. So that is why, why this university is to save the environment, society and people, and educate and inspire to live with humanity, to promote and practice sustainable living. So it is not a theoretical university, it is a practical university. People come and learn the practices through the practice. In the campus itself, all the practices are demonstrated and people come and learn through the practice. And here, so this is the 3 levels of transformation. I think you might have looked at the posters over there, but transformation is a very first thing. Those courses are offered very practical approach, and social transformation is to help others and bringing that change, like caring for others and efficient and selfless leadership. So that is another set of courses. And environmental transformation is another set of courses. Again, this is also, they learn science, the technology, with in a more practical approach. How to bring that sustainability in the soil, how to bring the sustainability in the health, and how to make yourself more sustainable. So that way, these 3 levels of transformation happens, and through that you can union with nature. At the same time, you can make the sustainable progress. That is what this one. Finally, helping yourself, helping others, helping environment, helping finally achieving Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, the happiness of everyone. So that is the ultimate objective of achieving the humanity through the practice of equality, empathy, selfless service, and caring for the nature. So with these fundamental principles and achieving that state, that is the ultimate goal. But to bring that change, we really need. Of course, we all wanted to do that, but there are certain circumstances are leading us into the wrong directions. So that is why we need to really think about it. So our philosophy of service also, I think you might have looked at in the posters. It is very, very important message to understand, especially these days, because everyone wanted to do something, but what is important? What is our priority? So that needs to be very clearly understand based on based on place, time, etc. But this time and at this place, at whole, wherever it is, the big problem, From that big problem, we have to take this challenging problem. We may be having a number of problems, but we have to take the high priority problem and solve that problem. So that is where, the physical help, which is a giving material, and intellectual help and spiritual help, the 3 levels of services we can take up, giving the knowledge and giving the goodness. And because you all wanted to do something, so just take this approach. This is suggested by Vedas. It's really wonderful approach of the philosophy of service to understand real problem and take from there. It is not what we have. So some people, yeah, I have these things, give it. No problem. So there is no point in giving that particular thing what we have. It is not what you have in your hand. It is that what they need, other side, what they need. So based on identifying the need, we have to see what needs to be done. Otherwise, just for the sake of giving what we have, just donate or throw it away, it doesn't make any sense. So that is why this philosophy of service is very important. And identifying the needs of people, needs of society, needs of nature. And then here, so there are direct benefits of this one is the human excellence, achieving the human excellence, and sustainable living, natural farming, and humanitarian aid projects within the campus, and SRDP, Sustainable Rural Development Program, implementation in 500 villages, and building practical leadership. So these are the direct benefits. There are indirect benefits where greening wastelands. When no water is there, how to green? those wastelands by plantation, by drip irrigation, by water conservation. How do we do that? So such practices also as part of this one. So yeah, these are the 4 areas: right education, the practice of humanity, and then sustainable health, yoga, alternative medicine, Ayurveda, all that taken into that thing. And then as Gandhi said, the sustainable society, the self-sustainability. So that means villages will not buy anything from the outside. That means from the city, but they will export their food. They will supply the poisonless food, the chemical-free food to these other people. So that is a culture we would like to bring in the sustainable living methods and sustainable environment. And here UFH proposed plan is like this. So it is in the near Hyderabad. So in the first site we have acquired 53 acres, and very good news is yesterday it was really wonderful day for us. We met the great personality here. At the same time, our this university campus land has got registered on the Manavata's organization name, which is really good. Thank you. And it is all because of all your good wishes and all the the great solidarity you are all showing. So that all made this happen. So now the biggest challenge we have is whatever we got, it's a dry land. So from dry land to make it green is the first challenge. And second challenge is making people adopting those things. So these are very big projects in hand. So we have to invest money, have to invest a lot of knowledge, time, everything. It's a big project. Last 6 months, I traveled around 60,000 kilometers to identify land and bring the right people on the road. 60,000 kilometers. You imagine. So the cycling for humanity is nothing in terms compared to this one. It is very, very big work. So, but it is very difficult to get right people. But in this travel, I happened to meet wonderful people, great people. So in the part of journey only I met Satish Kumar also. So such people, I met the number of people, and they have also given a lot of good, wonderful ideas. And how to get involved. So some of you showed interest to get involved. So you can really get involved through different ways, whatever way it is possible. The sharing the knowledge, becoming a life member and adopting a village. For example, in your village, back in India, back in your own place, your country, wherever you are, you wanted to do something. So that these practices we can really promote through a teamwork. So we don't need to, because you are engaged in your family or your work, etc. But when we connected and together, we can make a wonderful plan and work together and make this happen in your village itself. So that way, whatever village you can adopt, you wanted to adopt, you can do that. Similarly, school adoption is basically in the villages, there are government schools, the education is not proper, you can adopt one school. There are low budget projects planned for each village. Very small budget, but the coordination and the team building is a key. So it is more of voluntary, intensive. And then we have you can also be part of innovation. If you are interested in sustainable innovation, you can spend time to do the R&D, and you can share the right practices and proper proven practices to the campus. And you can also come join full time if you want. So you can happy to stay at campus, and then we all can work together, and we can see how this sustainability can happen. So yeah, with that I just wanted to say thank you for volunteering, for those who are really doing wonderful work. So this is whatever we are doing, this is very important work for now. So all your support is much appreciated. So in whatever form you can help, I'm happy to work with you all, and let's take this movement forward. Every place, even children, they can contribute. everyone they can contribute. Think about it and see like what change we can make in this world. Any questions? Do you have any questions? Yeah.
You know, like when you said sustainable university, I understand it means environment friendly and doing all the environment friendly things, but do you also mean in terms of funds that it will be sustainable, it will be creating its own products and selling it, so it will be self-sustained in terms of funds as well?
Great question. Yes. In terms of building the self-sustainability, instead of putting the more funds and feeding every time, so trying to create the self-sustainability in terms of creating generating its own income, so that it will feed by itself. So for example, producing the crops, the whatever the poisonless food, so and giving the poisonless food, through that we can raise some fund. That is the intention, but it takes at least 5 years to bring that stage, the current land. So that's the idea basically. Yes. Any other questions?
And what kind of, like, you showed the basic hierarchy, but what kind of initial subjects would you be teaching? Would that be like proper undergraduate, postgraduate, or would that be just diploma?
Oh yeah, so these are more of these short-term practical courses. And for example, I'll give you a small example. The PhD program means 7 years to 8 years program. So one person, if he dedicates himself for 6 to 7 years, 8 years, and take one village and transform that village completely self-sustainable, he will get a PhD. So that is a PhD practical approach. That means he is innovative, he is a leader, and he did all the research and made people to work in a sustainable health, sustainable environment, and sustainable education. So that means that way he developed a village means that is real PhD, I say. So similarly, diplomas and graduations also planned such a way. This is the first time in the world which is a university for humanity. It's not exist. So far we have universities for sustainable development. You have universities for the environment, agriculture, and different universities there. But there is no university for humanity. So university humanity is a holistic approach. So bringing everything together. For example, a naturopathist will say, okay, he will be in his own world. A yoga practitioner will be in his own world. A cyclist will be in his own world. And for example, a doctor is in his own world. There is no integration between all these people. They are all wanted to do good. But problem is there is no integration among all these people to work together to bring all these sustainable living, sustainable natural farming, all these things. But natural farming people also spend a lot of time. But they are in their own area. They don't want to look at others. So, but it is not sustainable. It will not go like that. It has to go in an integrated approach and make a proper sustainability. So that is where the courses offered are more of practical. Initially what we planned, even Satish Kumar is offering one course every year. He comes 1 week course. And Subhash Palagirji, 2 courses he is offering. He is the top scientist in India for the sustainable agriculture. So he offered 2 courses in our campus. So similarly, all the great people are coming into the, those are the practitioners. Those are not like just they did a PhD, theoretically, doctorate, and those are not the ones. And I went to Harvard University, spent some time with them, and I met with the Sustainable Development Department in Stanford University. I also discussed with the program director of the United Nations, UNDP. So all that, bringing all the people together and integrating. This is the most important work because everyone wanted to do good thing, but in their own ways, the small silos. It is not working. So that is why we have to integrate all of them together, all the knowledge, bringing together these courses. Yeah.
And one last question, sorry,
no problem.
So, in terms of the timeline, where are you at the moment? And like, have you raised the funds for first year? Or like, if I ask you what stage is the university at the moment, what would you say?
It's in the very base stage. At the moment, acquired the land with the initial little bit funding from our own core voluntary members. whoever wanted to contribute. So that's also in the website. And then with that we could acquire the land, but still we have to raise the fund as well for the campus. And to build the campus, it takes initial 6 months, because this is the 25th year of 24th year of Manavata, and we are entering into 25th year. Silver Jubilee we are going to celebrate in October. So by that time we wanted to have at least initial setup and then start the courses. So that is the idea. Because in this year if you start, and by next year it comes to a certain level where we can offer in a bigger scale. Because this year we targeted another 25 villages as a target. Because 500 villages next 3 years probably we can take up. Because once we up and running, that is the thing. Thank you.
You know, the villages that we have adopted already.
Yeah.
What's happening exactly?
So yeah, adopting villages is basically low budget sustainable projects. First thing is there is no health care some of the villages. That is, for example, setting up a small health center, taking care of the people, health problems. And yes, that is one thing. And second one is making farmers to do the natural farming without chemicals, making them profitable, so that they won't get problems with the chemicals. Because chemical farming, that is not giving yielding to the farmer. It is not giving benefit to the farmer. It is giving to benefit to the chemical companies, and it is giving benefit to the middleman.
So organic farming.
Yeah. So any other questions? Yes, sir.
Organic farming.
Organic, and it's natural farming, more than organic. We don't use organic compost. We make soil to get the self-sustainability. That way, natural farming. But organic farming, it's a very tricky word. Organic farming, recently what happened is, so you see organic farming by composting, right? Whatever compost you put, how many years you put that compost, it is very expensive. That is why organic products are very expensive here, because that is not sustainable. And the organic, whatever they are talking, the manufacture of these insects, the earthworms, is artificially in the factory and generated. Those insects are producing more arsenic in the soil. That arsenic is going to the vegetables and the fruits they are going. Finally, we are getting dangerous, the toxic chemicals in the food, in the organic grown food, organically grown food, some of the chemicals. So that means the organic grown foods are more dangerous than the chemical farming in this method. So this method is not at all correct. So the correct method is making soil to create self-sustainability. Let it create its own sustainability through the multi-cropping and through the the natural methods of creating this one.
And the university, you said it's University of Humanity.
Correct.
But you are talking more of sustainable development, so which is like making products, agricultural products.
No. You see, humanity in the sense, this is sustainable living. What that means is, you live and let others also live, let other animals also live. For example, by chemical farming, you are killing almost few millions of insects in the earth. So that means you are not making others to live. That is inhuman. Not only inhuman, and you are spoiling this earth sustainability. So that is why you live, but you also make others live. Don't kill them like a terrorism. Like a chemical farming is like a terrorism, you are just shooting up them. It is not correct. So that is why we have to make that sustainability.
So it's all about agriculture.
Not only agriculture and also practices. You might have seen this the triangle, right? You can see the picture. And the first is self-transformation. A human should think about as a humanity. So, and think about the environment, understand what is happening. That understanding is the first self-transformation. Second, social transformation. And third is environment transformation. All holistic transformation of the human beings. That is the idea. That is why it is called University for Humanity. Thank you. Sorry?
Maybe you are having the small course, diploma courses, but any of the courses covering all the area wherever the graduating, maybe understanding the whole concept.
Correct. So every course the whole three levels, self-transformation, social transformations, and environmental transformation, they've learned the techniques, they learned the basic fundamental of humanity, how to live sustainable. At the same time, a farmer learns natural farming, a doctor learns sustainable health, and a teacher learns sustainable education. So that means we targeted best teachers, best doctors, and the best farmers. So these areas is a target for the university. So when you have best teachers, best farmers, best doctors who can think with the humanity, they can transform the world. Otherwise, they think only selfish, their profits, their money, etc. They do not think about the doctor do not think about the patient. They think about the regular customer as a customer. That means they don't give you the medicine to completely cure, that they make you customer. That's what's happening in the world. So that way, even farmer thinks about how much productivity they get. They don't think about the health of the soil, health of the customers he is serving, right?
It's all about the system.
System, correct. So that system we wanted to change through these practices.
And when you say self-transformation, what is that, in our normal daily life?
Daily life is basically simple living, and the sustainable living practices, without spoiling others. So even harmonious living, making people and animals also survive. Think about that way. For example, when you want to buy more clothes, what happens? Other side, you are creating the problem. When you wanted to just use more plastics, other side you are creating the poison.
Yeah, so what is the
So that self-transformation, what happens in self-transformation, automatically a man, if he can live in simple lifestyle, automatically this sustainability creates. So that is why the self-transformation is important. If people are living it, simple living, automatically the things will reduce. That's why Gandhiji said the earth can provide enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed. So if self-transformation happens, they are not living with greed. That is what the focus is.
Who are the target audience?
Target audience are in the villages. Whatever village we are at, first thing is these three target: teachers, farmers, and doctors. These three areas we are focusing on, and then transform them. And they are the transform agents for the village. They take 3 to 5 for 6 years time, and then slowly make the progress in the village, adopted villages.
Who started Manavata?
Sorry?
Who started the organization Manavata?
This in 1991. I started in my village. As a small youth association with 15 people. And then from there, with 6 years spending on that, I've seen a lot of transformation in the education, youth, all that. So, so that transformation, we wanted to bring it into the next level. So that is why I tried to connect to the right people and growing that progress. That is why all great people have connected here, which is really happy to see you all basically.
You're great, man.
Thank you. So I'm sure you all must be hungry. So you want to eat and then continue the program?
Yes, with the next.
Because early dinner, right, before sunset. That is our fundamental. You want to?
Go for the question from the board.
So any question?
What is next?
What is next is a question.
So next question is, next program is basically kids are going to perform some more these things. We have another 2 small talks, like 10 minutes on the home remedies. Home remedies in the sense, the natural remedies. The first aid kit in the home. How to use the first aid kit in the home. That is one thing. And second one is on the anatomic therapy. So there's 2 things are there. So we can have later. And later on, after dinner, after cultural events, we can have 10 minutes talk and 10 minutes on this one. And then we can have a meditation for an hour. And then go for sleep. And tomorrow we have a big event, which is a Yogathon event challenge. 108 Surya Namaskaras. You're welcome to join everyone.